He spent 19 years chipping through a prison wall with a rock hammer. What he did next became the greatest escape in movie history. In 1947, Andy Dufresne's life changed forever. A successful banker, convicted of murdering his wife and her lover. The sentence, imprisonment for life. Shawshank Prison, a concrete fortress where hope comes to die. When fresh inmates arrived, the veterans placed bets on who would crack first. Red, the guy who could get things, saw something different in Andy Dufresne. Red had been there since 1927. In for murder, though he was the only man in Shawshank who'd admit he was guilty. He'd seen plenty come and go, but Andy? Andy was different. The first night's the worst. The old-timers called it Fresh Fish Night. They'd bet on which newcomer would break. One did break. He didn't make it through the night. But Andy? Silent as a church mouse. He was already defying expectations. 2 weeks in, Andy made an unusual request to Red, a rock hammer, small enough to fit inside a Bible. Said it was for his hobby, collecting rocks. Red laughed but got it for him anyway. That little hammer would become the tool that made the impossible possible. Prison life was brutal. The sisters, Shawshank's worst predators, targeted Andy for 2 years. He fought back every time, even when he couldn't win. Until one day, Andy did something that changed everything. He offered to help a guard with his taxes. On a sunny morning in 1949, Andy Dufresne pulled off the impossible. While tarring the prison roof, he got his fellow inmates some beers. For those few moments, they felt like free men. We sat drinking suds, the sun on our shoulders, and felt like free men. After Andy saved Captain Hadley a fortune in taxes, the sisters never touched him again. Their leader Boggs ended up crippled for life. The message was clear: Andy Dufresne was now a protected man. Andy transformed Shawshank's pathetic library into the best prison library in New England. He wrote letters every week for 6 years straight until the state finally sent funding. But his real project? It was always hidden behind that poster of Rita Hayworth. When Brooks, the old librarian, got paroled after 50 years, he couldn't handle freedom. These walls are funny. First you hate M, then you get used to M. Enough time passes, you get so you depend on M. That's institutionalized. In 1955, Andy Dufresne did the unthinkable. He locked himself in the warden's office and played Mozart over the prison loudspeakers. For those glorious few minutes, everyone in Shawshank was transported beyond those gray walls. He got 2 weeks in the hole, but he said it was worth it. Enter Tommy Williams, a young thief who wanted his high school diploma. Andy became his teacher. But Tommy knew something that could prove Andy's innocence. His former cellmate had bragged about killing a banker's wife and her lover. When Warden Norton learned about Tommy's information, he saw his profitable money laundering scheme threatened. Andy had been laundering the warden's dirty money for years. Norton had Tommy murdered and threw Andy in solitary for 2 months.